there's a demon of these devices in our hands now. I think having any conversation in person is a total different conversation than trying to have these conversations. Because I find plenty times people condescend on social media, whether it be on WhatsApp, in WhatsApp groups, on Facebook, Twitter. People tend to condescend a lot now, boy. And I was like, you know, that kind of brought that kind of awareness to me, like social media.
So you realizing what I've been saying? Social media is dog shit. It's the devil. It needs to be. Listen, if I could if you tell me today, Judy could snap your finger and make one thing in this world disappear, it wouldn't be hunger. It wouldn't be death and damnation. It would be fucking social media. I would snap my finger and get rid of social media in a heartbeat because of exactly, well, among other things, but exactly what you're pointing out there.
Yeah. I have had this week, coming off of the Dave Chappelle thing, you know, seeing some things, and I was like, nah, boy, this place, you know what it is? Social media now has become a fighting cage or a ring that people come there ready to fight.
For rap.
Yeah. People come there for war. And I was like, I realized that this week, and I was like, nah, boy.
And you see, and the ramification, one of the major consequences of that is that's why we find it so difficult to solve major issues that our society is facing, because we don't have any conversations in healthy spaces. I personally feel that had COVID taken place in 1992, the response would have been completely different.
Right.
It would not have torn at the fabric of our society as much. Yes, people might have differed in their ideas about how to deal with it or so on, but we would have been having the discussions in a much more productive manner. But everything plays out on social media now, and social media affects how everybody behaves. You same as you were pointing out, the reason why CNN has become such a dumpster fire, dog shit, and I mean other media houses as well. I'm not picking on them alone, but the reason why that has become the case is because social media has broken the news. The news, it probably always had a little bit of propaganda mixed in, but generally there were journalistic standards that people used to have to adhere to, providing, not injecting yourself into the story. Our journalists used to be told it's not your role to do that. You find facts, you present facts, put it in a holistic context, and let the viewer or the audience, the consumer, make their own mind up.
Well, and you know the quote unquote 140 characters concept. Right? I think I also agree with what you're saying in terms of now everybody shooting for punchline headlines. Right? Not just headlines, but punchline headlines.
And to serve particular groups. They're not trying to tell the news anymore. They're trying to tell stories, because stories sell. They're trying to drive narratives. They want you to feel emotional about the news. If they presented the news as just raw facts, if they just said, this is what has happened, then, you know, you and I would be interested, but the general public would be like, it wouldn't get much traction on social media. But if you have, because a narrative must have a bad guy and a good guy. So that's why every news story these days, especially international news, seems to be pointing a finger at somebody, and, you know, as somebody as a perpetrator and somebody as a victim. You understand? And it's normally from an ideological divide, you know? So if a right-wing boogeyman or a left-wing boogeyman. But the reason why the news has to do that is because that's what gets engagement on social media.
No, because there's one aspect of social media, right? And I was watching a video this morning from Mr. Who's the Boss, right? He's normally a tech reviewer, but for some reason he decided to talk about social media and the ills in society or where it's going. And based on what he's saying, I think he's correct. It's not going to get better, you know?
No, it's not.
It's going to get extremely worse, because everything is algorithms. And the algorithms are made in a way to, okay, you dislike, I just going to call it, right? Somebody dislike Trump. They're going to channel all the Trump haters to you. People who like to write bad things about Trump. Right?
Yeah, because people, and because people have and social media has allowed people to engage in narcissism as opposed to tame the narcissism. You don't feel the news should tell you the facts. You feel the news should tell you what you want to hear.
Right. And you're saying that as well. So here's the twofold in it, right? One, so if there's a particular news channel that wants to appeal to you and this group of people who dislike, let's say, Trump or any particular thing, then that news channel now curates its news to this batch of people.
To suit that, exactly.
Right? And now we have this echo chamber.
Exactly.
One particular.
Exactly.
Right?
So like people who would have never heard that ivermectin actually has a human use. There's a human, it's a drug developed to treat humans as well. And that, you know, there is okay, let me not go any further because I'm not a scientist. So, but there is a version of it that is used for human beings. How they never heard that before? Because the same outlet that reported that Joe Rogan took horse dewormer is all they watch. And they watch it because they want to wake up and get news that makes them feel good.
Right.
You know, and the news that makes them feel good is these people are bad and the bad people over there are still doing bad things. Right. And so they could use that now and post that on social media.
Remember, and I mean, a lot of people forget this, but remember Trump was one of the first people to come out openly and talk about, or I should say in a high position, talk about alternatives, which was the hydroxychloroquine, right? So now everybody, once you come into something as an alternative to the vaccine, there's people see it as being kind of Trumpish now.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, but he is also the one who pushed for the vaccines, but people just forget that.
Right, yeah. And he also championed Regeneron, which is now which has now been given approval for use in treatment of COVID. So he took it as one of the drugs that they gave him, and he was talking about how important it could be in the fight against COVID. And now even the FDA in the United States has approved it and said, yes, it's a drug that can be used again to fight COVID. So yeah, that was another thing that he was quote unquote right about that he didn't.
But I guess people just figure out.
They don't want to know. That's the problem. They don't want to know. That's the and they encourage now. People aren't encouraged to challenge their feelings or to have the feelings or the opinions challenged anymore. So in social media they could find a nice little safe haven where the things they believe and the people they like, and they never have that challenge. So nobody in your social media sphere can, because you only watch news that confirms your bias. Right. When someone comes from a different angle on your social media now, you're like, what? This person has to be some nutbag from wherever. You know what I'm saying? So you immediately block them, or you get all your friends. Look at this crazy person. You don't engage the person's actual ideas. None of that. You just I live in a world where only what I believe is real. Now,
as I say, nice social media and news, but then let's look at, because of course in everything there's good and bad.
Yeah.
Right? So there's the positive aspects of social media for marketing.
Listen, I real surprised though. Because you seem real down on social media today. Normally you're a real social media champion.
Listen, I would support it for certain things. As I say, I would support it for the social aspect of it, right? Which I think I'm starting to see now is getting much harder to just use it for, because that's my thing, Social media for me was a real cool liming spot. That was the bar for me, where other people would go and drink on a Friday evening. I would prefer, not saying on a Friday evening, but I just saying, if there's a form of recreation on a Friday or Saturday, going and drink by a bar, however, my form of recreation is picking up my phone and scrolling through like a two-pitya, whatever, whatever, hey, is he seeing thing, whatever, have whatever conversations, be a little miserable, every now and again, whatever. But now I'm realizing that most of the time when you scroll through, it's real rap now. It's real rap, that, and real people fighting for attention. And that is getting me mad. So now it's like, this place, it's not feeling like a cool place anymore now. Like, I hate to see on Instagram, it have this thing where people just ask a question or whatever, and they just post it and they write the question, and the person repost the question that they wrote.
Repost the answer to the question.
They report the question and the answer.
Right, yeah.
And they would say whatever they had to say, and I'm like, oh God, things so bad. It's like, Like, you really need to do that. I mean,
it is, because I never understood it, I never understood why people, now, okay, I shouldn't make it seem as if I don't understand what could be addictive about social media, because I am addicted to Instagram, I would admit that. But I was addicted to Facebook at a time, and I'm addicted to Instagram now, because it's content. It's just things to see, you know. So if your mind is idle, it's something that could get you a little dopamine hit, because, you know, you don't know if you're going to see something funny, something interesting, something nice looking, you know what I mean? You don't know what you're going to see, right? But I never understood the desire to, like, just to get so weirdly interactive with other people. If I want to interact, I would interact with people in person, right? I might make the connection with you on social media, like if I haven't seen you in a while, I might get your number that way, but then I will want to actually meet with you in person. I just don't understand. Like, you see what you're talking about, that, you know, people's posts ask me a question, why? Why? If bored is what you are, then put the fucking phone down
and go outside
and go do something.
Well, I mean, to be fair, we are curfew in this country. In the great state of...
Yeah, but they're doing that in the broad daylight.
Right? Well, true, somewhat. But also, I think to be fair, to have some risk factor in it, I think they could use that time on social media, not doing that shippiness with ask a question, but having conversations on social media with people. They could use that time to feel out people. That doesn't mean that will all end good. But I'm just saying there's a possibility that...
Well, listen, I think social media could be good, but you have to be very, very intentional on how you use it. You can't let it use you, right? So I think I've told you this before. I think social media has given everybody the opportunity to promote themselves. So if you have the ability if you have something to sell, you have something to promote to people, then, you know, this is free advertising.
That's why you see them girl and them pulling up their tights and all like catch you in.
I don't understand.
That's something to sell. That's something to promote.
Well, I guess, yeah. No, and that's the thing. Even if you're using it for that purpose, in terms of you're looking for man or you're looking for woman, okay, then use it specifically for that purpose. I wouldn't do that. I think it's very...
You think you're better than that?
Well, I just find it...
You know, other than being married. If you were to not be married for whatever reason. Right?
If I was single, no. If I'd use... No, I can't. I find it not beneath me. It is too awkward. I would find interacting with somebody artificially or virtually to strike up a relationship. I think it would feel too awkward for me.
But I mean, obviously. But I think no, that is where people use to feel out people know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So if you want to use it for that,
it's for you. So just imagine, you know, you were single in this time and you know, meet a young girl and so let me go nothing. Let me talk here for a while.
Well,
we go tell her.
Listen. Well, we wouldn't. If I meet you and are interested, and you give me your phone number,
but no, people is quicker just give you my Instagram. I talk you to tell that, but well, I'll give my Instagram handle or follow me on Instagram.
Right. No, you have to understand. You're talking to somebody that not in the game and hasn't been in the game for a very long time. And since this thing has been the thing that everybody has gotten used to, I haven't had to do it. So you're asking me now if I would want to do it or be comfortable doing it. No. Now, if, let me say, a month pass and is, you know, it's bare air.
It's hard out.
It's bare air. And I realized, well, boy, I have to get into this game. Then, okay, it wouldn't feel good and I wouldn't feel comfortable doing it. It would feel real awkward for me. I would feel like if it though is not, you know, everybody have an arena, they feel it is shining. I think my arena, I would shine in person. Right? I just feel awkward behind a keyboard.
But I think you make a real good point there, and I think that is why people love social media, you know, because it's easier to shine in that arena than in the real arena, you know.
True. You
understand? So I think that is why so much people love it, because you remember on social media, you're posting your highlights, you're posting the best of your life.
Right.
You post most people actually. Right. some people just post whatever they want to post, right? But most people, they
And even those, they're posting for attention. So even though it might seem like it's not even if they're not posting the highlights, they're not posting the highlights because they want you to notice that they don't post the highlights. You understand?
No, I think there are some people who post, those people, there are people who post like pictures they would have taken in an album. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, true, but to them, I think that's highlights.
But what I'm saying is, they don't make no great effort. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
They take a picture, and when you watch the background, you be like, I know you could have done better. I know you could have done better than that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I think there are people like that. And to be very honest with you, when I was in the dating game, that is the people I would have focused on. The people who would look like they didn't make much effort in taking the picture and you know, you could watch.
So that's how you're going after low-hanging fruit? Is that what you're trying to say?
No.
Right.
That is,
Okay.
People
But that the weight come off.
Well,
The weight say, well, I need to go behind people who wouldn't make any effort. I know. Okay, I get.
Right, so all right, let me clear it up. People who would make an effort to put out only one angle of themselves.
They weren't trying as hard to impress.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Cool,
People who seem like this is just real as
Right.
possible.
Yes.
And that was kind of what I used to look for. No, and I think it
Clearly worked out.
It worked for me. Yeah, I think so. I mean,
As a married fella. It worked out.
Yeah, and I even before I would say my relationships, the people weren't awful people. I probably had one awful ex, but and I see I meet them real. We went to school together. You understand?
Listen,
I had better luck on social media, apparently.
I hear, yeah. And like I say, if I was single and had to get used to it, then I had to get used to it. But me personally, I don't. That's not my thing. But the thing is, as I was saying before, I think if you're using it, you have to be intentional about it. If you have something to sell and you want to promote yourself because you want to bring in customers, you want to just get attention to yourself so that you could leverage that to obtain opportunities and use it for that. Understand that's what you're doing. So I don't have a problem with influencers. I think influencers are the only people who should be on social media. The rest are clowns like we who just be staring at people pictures. We are the ones wasting time.
But then they wouldn't have a job.
Well, no, but what I'm saying is they are the only ones who I could say I have a great deal of respect for them. People normally would say, "Oh, they're just attention seekers." Yeah, but they're using this thing for a purpose, right? They're crafting a brand so that they can market themselves to the outside world to get whatever. Now, the ones who just put real effort into the social media and don't do nothing with it, like they just to see likes, that is a bit weird. But
no, but I disagree with that. I mean, I wouldn't do it, but that hit a dopamine us. Let's be real. It is addictive, as you know, right? So,
but that I don't have respect for that. I know where it comes from, but I don't have respect for that. I have respect for the person who doing everything for the gram, but they're doing it for the gram because listen, this is how I make money. This is my.
Well, I think there are some people who might use it not to kill themselves. The 10 likes this make them feel a bit better about themselves.
When you spending money to go to a party you didn't want to go, or to buy clothes you don't really want, or to go on trips you're not really having fun at, just for the gram, just for pics, then that I think you're doing yourself a disservice.
Well, I think they might just delay killing themselves a bit longer.
Well, all right.